Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight on A World Awakening. I am not going to do much in the way of introduction because I will just basically be redundant. Those of you that follow this show regularly know that in recent months I have had a recurrent guest named Rupert, who is a very special, very kind, loving, genuine soul. And a couple of last weekend, we were together at the UFO-CONTACT in Houghton Lake, Michigan, which was, a phenomenal event for both of us and very exciting and also very productive in terms of what we were able to gather from not only the lectures, the conference itself, but also out in the cool evening over Houghton Lake. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Rupert back to the show tonight. How are you, dear?
Good. It's good to be back, Andrea. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I won't, I'll be honest, I'm absolutely exhausted. And as you know, I've been in the midst of a major move. So I'm pretty wiped out and still finding the light under the big dark cloud that I'm living under right now. But it'll all be well in the end, as John Lennon said. If it's not well yet, then it's not the end. So I always do believe that he's right about that. But it was, instead of projecting forward into the nightmare that I know is tomorrow, I would like to go back and revisit the weekend at Houghton Lake and get your impressions of UFO contact and what it meant to you to be present. And then I know that you have a major announcement. I am not, even though I've got the scoop, I am not going to be the one to publish it. I'm going to give you the headline. So take it away, my dear.
Thank you. Before I talk about Houghton Lake, we have a pretty big membership viewing audience out there right now. I don't know the numbers, but I imagine it's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of people listening to this right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody that's out there, that's listening to this right now, to just build a little bit of love and spiritual strength within you and project it through space to Andrea right now. She's had a very busy last, not just day, but last 3 or 4 days, probably last month. Let's just project a bit of love and strength and energy and healing to Andrea and give her the strength to get through this hour very easily and smoothly. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for doing that. Houghton Lake, yes. Well, it was my first time there, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. As soon as we walked into before we walked into the hotel, people were coming up to you. You knew them. Everybody knows everybody. You're hugging. It's just everybody. It's just a family environment. Everybody is part of the same family, the same community, and it's a loving community. And so it just felt very warm and welcoming. People were coming up to me that had seen me on your show and giving me a very warm welcome. So, just the people involved and the positive energy was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I tried to tell you in advance that it's like walking into a tidal wave of love. And nobody really understands it until they actually get there. And then boom, there it is. And yeah, there's an awful lot of hugging and kissing going on over the course of the weekend. And it's always so lovely. It really is the event of all. And I have several that I'm very fond of, my favorites that I won't ever miss. But there's something about UFO contact at Houghton Lake that speaks to me on a deep level, that I feel like every time we gather there, we're really making a difference for the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a pleasure to be invited up on stage with you. And that was an interesting experience. That one of the first things you did was you held my
Yes,
hand and you said to everybody, "Now,
period.
everybody look and watch." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm being asked to do magic straight away." But no, you invited people to look at our auras or our coronas.
Mhm,
And one interesting thing that we both noticed was that a lot of people taking photographs, very few of them were actually in focus.
mhm.
And a couple of people told me it's like we were trying to focus on you, and something was stopping that from focusing.
And but all the detail around us was completely clear, and we were fuzzy. That's because we weren't in 3D. So their camera could not pick up that, it literally could not focus on something beyond the dimensions for which it was designed to operate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it
But
was,
I do feel that the message that we were both giving, that was felt by people.
it
The
was.
message of universal peace,
Mhm.
universal love, universal well-being or happiness. Um, and we pushed that pretty hard, and people took it. And afterwards, um, I could see the appreciation that people had for us doing that, because you know certainly what I'm doing, it's yes, it's about spreading knowledge about different beings, different paranormal phenomena, but it's far more than just knowing stuff or helping people believe stuff. It is about the way we act, the way we treat each other. It's about being nice to each other. That's what it's all about, and I think people really understood that and felt that.
I think so too. And one of the things that you did out on the back lawn that had not occurred to me. I'm so busy opening up third eyes and singing to the sky, and oh, did you send Bill the film footage that we talked about on the?
Mhm,
You did.
mhm.
Yay. Okay. No, yay, because I mean this is exciting for me. I mean, not that I didn't, very much appreciate all the love that just came zooming through, you know, to me. I do, but just the notion that what you captured, so many other people are going to see tonight when he puts it up on screen, is very exciting to me. Not that I feel in any way that I, have that either of us have anything to prove. I am so far beyond that, crossed that Rubicon like a long time ago. But the skies were very active, and I felt like they were not only responding to my request, they were also responding to your presence. And when you had that enormous crowd of people make this huge circle and invited everyone to, collectively call, speak, communicate, and hold hands, everybody just did it. Nobody was like, oh, I don't want to, oh, God. No, none of that. There were no boundaries between us, and the emotionalism of it was so beautiful. And then um, I can't remember what we sang, but it really sucked. I
I tried to sing "Can't Help Falling in Love," and for some reason, even though I know that Elvis Presley song so well, I came in about 10 octaves too high.
yeah, everybody struggled with that. And so, me, let's make light. I came out into the middle of the group. I'm like, okay, the cosmic chorus has been founded and disbanded within like a minute. And all of you need to keep your day jobs. And everybody laughed. And it was part of that. It was, oh God, I hate this chair. It's not my it's not my chair. Borrowed computer, borrowed chair tonight. Um, they say don't look a gift horse in the mouth, so I will say nothing about how uncomfortable this chair is, to its owner. However, it was like that eruption, that spontaneous eruption of joy and laughter, and within moments, Rupert, within moments, I could see what was happening all around us. And I try not to, and I think you take the same approach. Try not, because of the power of suggestion. I try not to say, oh, there were, and yet you, without saying anything, take your laser and just circle what's moving through the sky. You don't have to say anything. It's like, okay, folks, just take a look at this and assess that. And so it's a way of, not imposing anything on anyone, but just giving them a signal that you're seeing something they might want to look up and see if they see the same thing. It's awesome. You tell Bill whenever you want him to play the film footage that you took. Oh, and the other big thing, I think we have well established now that I am not allowed to touch your night vision camera.
Yes, for the second time, when I let you have a look through the night vision camera, the battery's drained. At least you're not damaging it. You're just
No, I'm not
draining
damaged.
batteries.
Yeah.
And
I just suck the energy right out of it, and everything else I touch.
there's a lot of energy within you, and it's diffusing outwards. And the third clip that you're just about to see, maybe you caused something to happen. I'm not so sure. Should we take a look at the video now?
Venus has been acting up huge. The verdict, the jury is out on Venus. But not for me.
What about my 3 right there? See? There's actually 4 right in a row there. Yeah, I see it right over the horizon.
Venus has been acting up huge. And the verdict, the jury is out on Venus. What about my 3 right there? See? There's actually 4 right in a row there. Yeah.
I did not know about those lights. That was not visible to the naked eye that night, but that happens a lot when I'm doing my thing. What looks like almost like masquerading as heat lightning when there is no heat to create it, or it happened out, I was with John Tenney in Lenox, Massachusetts a few years ago, and the flashing started. I mean, it was amazing. And then where did that just happened again? Oh, in Rhode Island, of all places. And I was out in the parking lot with a group of people outside our hotel. And it was a light show. It was absolutely amazing while I was calling, and they were connected to us, and everybody that was with us saw it. And then when I said, okay, can you stop for a moment? And it stopped. And then a few minutes later, I said, could you bring the blue light back for everyone to enjoy? And the sky lit up, and everyone that was with me was like, this is not happening. I am not seeing this. What's going on here? So, but I did not know that had happened. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Oh, we have the best viewers, Rupert. Oh my God. So I'm going to let you, you have an announcement. I know. I'm not going to push you. You say it when you're ready, or make some other commentary. It's your show, baby. It's your show. You decide how you want to do it.
Thank you. You know how my brain works. I've always got multiple possible things to talk about in my mind, but let me just talk about those videos, if that's okay.
Sure.
The first video, something was moving across the screen, and I caught it on the night vision camera, and it wasn't luminous, it wasn't very bright, it was quite faint, and I thought, maybe, is this a bird or something? But then it did something very atypical, and it just darted straight down. And it felt like, here's this alien phenomena, vessel, spirit, whatever it might have been, coming across into our field of view, suddenly realizing, oh, somebody's observing me. I'm not so keen on this. Darts straight down into the lake. Somebody else I was talking to saw a similar phenomena, but coming from the other way, coming across the lake and darting down. And there are stories in that area that talk of spiritual orbs coming up and down out of the lake. So, we could call that a UFO because we don't know what it is, but just to say there's something unidentified, to me, that's not very helpful, because some things are clearly far less likely to have traditional terrestrial physical explanations. And so I upgrade those things from UFO or UAP to PAP, probable alien phenomena. So I consider that first one a probable alien phenomena. And then in the second clip, there were two incidents of something white and luminous appearing, moving for a brief period of time and then disappearing. Not streaking across the sky like a shooting star or a meteorite, but brief appearances. And in the location where the lady that was holding the camera at the time was talking about. She's talking about these three stars, and then one appears on this side, one appears on this side. That's a PAP. That's a probable alien phenomenon. And then the third one, yeah, absolutely. You've got some kind of energy inside you. I know you've told me this before, but can I ask, do you consider yourself to be entirely human?
No. And it took me more than 60 years to accept that, to admit it, to accept it, to embrace my weirdness, and to understand that I'm in this world, but not really of this world, which is why I think I've been so uncomfortable in this, beautiful planet Earth that we live on, that I have felt like a misfit my whole life, until I found my tribe, until I found the other misfits that think exactly the way I do. And it took more than 50 years. Well, about 50 years, just walking around trying to, play fake it till you make it. Nobody will notice if you just fit right in and do what everybody else does. And, I still had moments in those first 50 years of what I deemed to be exceptional experiences, and exceptional accomplishments in my life. But I always felt like I just wasn't living up to the hype, that I never really got it. And that my life was being wasted, owning businesses, making money, and less wasted being in the theater for as long as I was. That was my outlet, my creative outlet. Making music, that was my escape from the mundane Sisyphean tasks of life. But I just felt like, there has been some clerical error made first, and I landed in the wrong place, until I realized that I landed in precisely the right place at the right time to make a difference in the world for countless others. And now, with deep reverence and respect, I try very hard every day to do something to enrich the lives of others. And it is the most fulfilling, most rewarding time in my life.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Well, I will go ahead and make this little announcement now. Oh, it's switched to just me. How about
It did, because Bill is the magic man behind the curtain, and he does what he damn well pleases on KGRA, and the screen is yours, dear.
Well, I am happy to announce that I'm going to be having my own slot, my own show here on KGRA. And it's still in the early stages of planning, but we have a name for the show. The show is going to be called Galactic Wisdom. And this show is going to be a lot of things. It's going to be me talking about reality that we as human beings have worked out as being pretty solid using logic and science, but also paranormal realities, which I have researched, investigated my entire life. I'm going to be giving some lecture style informational sessions. I'm going to be having a lot of guests on my show from across the whole realm of paranormal phenomena, experiences, psychics, mediums. Andrea can come on at some stage, hopefully quite often. And so there will be a lot of learning from other people. And I'm also going to be doing experiential activities on my show. The term wisdom for me includes 4 areas. Knowledge, that's learning. Also thinking. Now that might sound a bit strange, like people might think we know how to think, but when you look at how people in this world, how it's very clear to most of us, how when we look and see how divided people are in terms of what they've concluded about reality, it's clear that some people are not very good at working out what is true and what isn't in the reality in front of our faces, but also in paranormal realities. And so thinking and trying to work out what is true, that's going to be a big part of the wisdom that I'm going to be trying to give my opinion about. Then there will be morality, which is very important. Morality is really what is probably the biggest factor that is inhibiting humanity's ascension and connection, deep and meaningful relationship connection with these otherworldly beings that are out there. So I will be talking a lot about morals and right and wrong and good and bad, not in a dictatorial way, but just in a way where I'm asking questions where your feelings will tell you what the answers are. And then the 4th area of wisdom that I'm going to be talking about and working through in my show will be experiential experiences. Basing our knowledge on what other people say is much weaker, not nearly as strong as basing our knowledge, what we conclude about reality, based on our own experiences. So I'm going to be giving our viewers experiences such as meditation. I'm going to be leading meditations. I'm going to be leading manifestation sessions where I teach people how to control what their future moves into. Healing sessions, spiritual healing sessions, astral projection, remote viewing.
Astral projection. Some of us are even better at it than others. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that.
Tangent. Bill, Bill just forewarned me he was coming on the show to congratulate you tonight.
Yes.
So.
Welcome to the Galactic family here on the World Awakening, and also welcome to the KGRA family. I am excited to have you on the network. I can't wait to work with you directly. I have another little announcement to someone's in the backstage here. You're probably going to be leading into my other 2 dear friends, Deb and RJ. So Thursday nights, it'll be your show, and then Mystical Awakenings right after you. So I can't think of a better place. Both of you, all of you involved on Thursday nights. on KGRA. And as long as you promise me one thing, Rupert,
Okay.
don't ask me to sing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I had on the phone the other day, I let Bill know that sometimes in my sessions, I will lead everybody in song, alien-related songs, spiritual, uplifting songs. And it looks like I might not be able to because of copyright reasons, but I don't know, Andrea, maybe we can figure out a way to bring Bill on and have us all do a...
I got the
No,
drop.
what we're going to do is we're going to write our own music. And then that way nobody can be infringed upon. And then we're going to duct tape Bill's mouth while he's in the studio.
Anyway,
Thing.
thank you, Rupert, for joining KGRA in this family. And I'm like I said, I know those that are viewing and listening on KGRA as well on the radio side globally are really looking forward to hearing and viewing your show. So again, thank you for coming to KGRA. And I look forward to working with you. So I'm out of here.
Thank you so much, Bill, for that wonderfully warm welcome. I don't know, maybe we can get Bill like banging on a drum or something.
Maybe we'll give him, we'll give him something to do so he feels included. I need to mention this because there were, I don't know, several hundred people at UFO-CONTACT. And I think I startled you a bit. So I want to apologize to you publicly. And let me just recount our conversation. I think you said something to me about, I didn't think you were going to introduce me as a tall white. And my response was, why not? That's what you are. And that's my perception of you. And it was, honey, from the moment that Bettina, our mutual friend, opened the door, there was this prim and proper little genteel knock at the door, and she opened the door, and there you stood. And I said to John Zaffis, I said, he's the reason I'm in Kansas City. Why did I have to wait this long? What's the deal with this, that I had to be this patient this long? But it's easy to be patient when you don't know what miracle is coming. You just don't know what's coming. And I consider you magical, miracle, magic being science we do not understand, but in a way, not in a religious way, but in kind of like a revelation for me, a miracle, having you walk in, and I had no idea who you were. I just, I let you be polite and walk around the room and introduce yourself to everybody. And then I grabbed you and I pulled you over to the table, and I didn't stop talking long enough to breathe for a good 15 or 20 minutes and just offloaded all this information on you. And then I did the same thing all weekend long at Contact. And I just don't do that to people. And so there must be some spontaneous reason, or, just a spontaneous outpouring. That I felt with you, an instant sense of abiding trust, an instant sense of connection that is not only of this world, but otherworldly, galactic. And when I took your hand, I didn't mean to put any pressure on you, but I don't know how many people walked up to me and said there was a golden pulsing light around both of you. There was this, like a corona effect, not like an aura. And, we had plenty of mediums and psychics and people that are really into this stuff that saw it immediately. And you know what? Because I had kind of set them up, I didn't take any of that seriously completely until I started seeing the photographs. And we were not in focus, and everything around us was perfectly in focus. And I have been sent at least a dozen photographs that they couldn't, they can't even fix it in Photoshop. They've tried. So, basically there's no proof that we were together on the same planet at the same place, at Houghton Lake at the same time. But thank you for tolerating my exuberance, my enthusiasm about meeting you. Because it really was a situation where I felt like I knew you well. It was very familiar. It felt ancient to me. It does. And I know that we will work together and play together and frolic in the fields together, as we're calling in our galactic family, for years to come on this plane of action, and possibly forever. So I want to take this moment to publicly thank you for gracing my life, Rupert. You've made a real difference already.
Well, you are very welcome, and the feeling is mutual. I think we already have a very, very strong bond. We've got to know each other. And because we're so similar in many different ways, it's just ridiculous how many ways. It's like you'll text me and say you're doing something, and I'll text you back and say, yeah, that's what I'm doing too. But we're so similar. We have such a strong spiritual connection, and that is not confined to one point in time. That radiates outwards. And when we met, we both felt like we knew each other, because we do. Time is multi-dimensional, and somewhere somewhere else in time right now we're meeting for the first time. Somewhere else in time we're not on the earth, but we're together still doing good stuff. And so yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you felt that instant connection. I get that with other people as well sometimes, where I just look at them and I know that I'm going to be good friends with that person. I know I'm going to know them. But we also, you mentioned that Bettina had invited me to that meeting where I met you. She told me just a couple of days ago, because she is very spiritual. She's psychic. She has contact with spirit, and she also has such a wonderful heart. She's such a kind person, as is her convention partner, April. And she told me just a couple of days ago that she was told that she should invite me. She was told by spirit, that's what she describes it as. She was told she should invite me to all of the things that were going on backstage there. And we are part of a plan. We are being guided. Both of us, we have strong connections with these beings, because they see what we're doing. They support what we're doing. They really support what we're doing. They help us, because they see the positive that you and I are creating on this planet, in our galaxy, into the future, and they want that to happen. So yeah, it's all part of a plan.
It is, and being so steeped in philosophy my whole life, I've struggled, and we've talked about this several times, about free will versus determinism, and are we, do we arrive here with like a template established, or a syllabus, or a Venn diagram? I mean, do we arrive here having these, having to strike these points in terms of our ascension, and is it both? Are we subject to a determined destiny, or are we free to screw it up? Or is it both? And I don't know. But it is just, it gives me pause a lot to think about it. And one of the things that I so appreciate about you is that you get it. You understand when I go all ethereal on you, and you just get it, and you finish my thoughts for me. I sometimes finish your sentences, and yes, I have other people like Deb DeRoos is one of them. I mean, from the moment we met, it was that. I mean, instantly opened our arms instantly, and I do believe I said something to her like, "I've missed you," something to that effect. Like, I know you, we know each other, we're connected, I've missed you. It took me a long time to make these connections pure and whole. I have the same thing with Greta. I mean, she called me today when I was just about at the breaking point, and she just called me and she's like, "Are you doing okay? I've got this, like really, weird feeling that maybe you should sit down for a little while, chill, baby." I mean, and I have that with my people, and I really do think that it was when I achieved acceptance and embracing my weirdness. What Tenny calls me the queen of high strangeness, and maybe I am, but if I was really queen, I'd make a lot of changes on this planet that are not happening right now. But it is that, really profound, significant attachments that can form instantaneously that I think are one of the greatest joys and the wonders in life. I think Deb's chomping at the bit and has something to say to you, so we might want to bring her in. Deb, are you there? Bill, are you sleeping?
I am here. I am so here, and I am so excited. The first thing I want to say is welcome to the KGRA family. I'm so thrilled that you will be not only doing this show, and it sounds fantastic. I can't wait. I can't wait. But that you are leading into my show, Mystical Awakenings, on Thursday nights.
I'm going to be the warm-up act.
Oh, no, you are.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra used to do it. Okay? Don't worry about it.
Right.
Earth, Wind, and Fire used to be a warm-up act.
And I'm going to second Bill. Don't ask me to sing. I can do many things, but that is not one of them. Mm-hmm. My kids pay me to not sing in public. It's a great way to make money. But I want to say, Rupert, I was so thrilled to finally be able to hug you in person at
Feel that
Michigan UFO-CONTAct.
Yes. God.
And I wanted to say welcome to the galactic family, but spiritually on a soul level, we've always been family. So connecting on a physical level just sealed it. You were phenomenal at the event. Everybody loved you. I love you. And I just want to say publicly, I want to ask you publicly if you would be willing to come be a speaker on your own next year. Not that Annie won't be there, but I'm asking you, Rupert.
Yeah, okay. I'll be there.
Thank you so much. I accept. I would love to be there. That would be very special.
That's so wonderful.
To join your family there. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so perfect. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You belong there. We all belong together. So how could we not do this? Right?
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And thank you so much, Deb, for being the mastermind for such a wonderful meeting and union of beautiful souls at that event. That was wonderful.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm really thrilled that you felt the love. Yes. Because that is, I mean, it's a UFO convention, but it's a family reunion love fest. As well. So yeah, thank you for that, Rupert. I'm delighted.
You were absorbed into our unit like SpongeBob absorbs ocean water on, the best ever been created ever. Not for children. They only think it's for kids, but he's a great American philosopher, SpongeBob is. I just must interject that.
I should come to the convention dressed as SpongeBob.
Somebody will throw you in the lake to see how big you pop up. Probably not a good idea.
Oh, I want to say thank you as well for sharing the video. There were so many sightings. I mean, I'm still hearing from people about the sightings that they had. And, you know, the fact that you caught that on video is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love
we
the
were
way
out there for hours. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
It was nuts. I mean,
it was.
It's always very active. You know, whenever I have never once had a scenario or a situation where basically nothing happened. No, ever. But that night, our last night at Houghton Lake was special. There was, I felt a connection that was deeper than anything that I have before. And I feel that Rupert's presence there is what magnified and enhanced, you know, what is always a very successful get together between the, you know, the mortals and the immortals or whatever. But it is, it was, I felt that it was Rupert's presence that was the cherry on top of an absolutely delicious cake.
Yeah. Well, you know, I felt that as well. And I felt like they were celebrating with us the fact that we were all together again.
Yeah. You know, I host a lot of cosmic contact events. Last year, I went to approximately, well, it was 25 different US states and hosted about 50 events, in-person events. And I think because I do it so much and because I have really tried to be the best person I can possibly be, I have been noticed. My activities have been noticed, just as yours has, Andrea. And when I now stand out there and I welcome people to a cosmic contact event, I know that they're already with me. And I will say to anybody, are there any psychics here? Does anybody see anything here right now? And almost always they tell me, yes, there's a being right there, there's a being there, there's one hovering above you. And we know these beings. And they come to us, they support what we're doing, we communicate with them, we talk to them, and they are there to support us, a range of different beings. And it goes beyond just support. We are now seen as real ambassadors for humanity. We have beings coming to us at events like that. Maybe not that one, it was a very large one. When I have sort of smaller events with sort of high level, very experienced contactors, we get beings coming to us, asking us for our help. And that is extraordinary because these beings are coming to us and saying, hey, we've got a problem. Can you help us? That's where we can all be if we just if we move ourselves in the right direction. All of the people listening to this show, you can have relationships with these beings. You can build up personal relationships with these beings.
Yep.
You just need to, how should I say this? Humanity has its issues. Humanity has its problems. And if you can rise above these negative issues, if you can become a force for light, for good in this world, they will like you, they will love you, and they will want to be with you.
I know that you don't self-identify as a tall white. That is my perception. But the tall whites are light workers. And I know this because I've been told this. They told me. I met a man years and years ago at Logan Airport, and I was bereft. I had just, had an awful breakup that shouldn't have gone the way that it did. I'd been lied to. It was very painful. And a beautiful man just walked up to me out of nowhere in the middle of Logan Airport. And he said to me, "Your grief is a manifestation of your love. Be grateful that you have felt that depth of love in your lifetime." And then he walked away. I was like, what the fuck was that? Okay, is that an earth angel? Is that an alien? I'm with people that don't believe in that. So maybe I should say nothing. And then my friend Barbara, she's like, what the hell was that about? The connections are so pure. And essentially, Deb and I have talked about this so much. The reason that you were swarmed at UFO-CONTACT was because you were recognized, and that because you are so pure of heart, nobody needs to identify, nobody needs to stick a post-it note on you. You are who and whatever you are. My self-image has evolved over the years. I know that yours is in transition as well, but we don't need to get a Sharpie and start writing, that we are this or we are that. What if we're everything, all wrapped up into one thing? I think that's as plausible an explanation as any. I believe if psychics exist, then everybody ultimately has that potential and possibility to, manifest that kind of a gift. If mediums exist, then everybody has that potential to be able to communicate with spirit. If there's one healer among us, then all of us have the capability of healing not only ourselves, but the others that come into our lives and our world. And Rupert, your ability to heal is, I was so sick when I got there. And I told Deb, I said, I'm coming if I'm dead. I'll just be there as a ghost, but I'm coming. Is Greta in the green room, honey? Before we run out of time, I wanted to give her a chance to speak if she's there. She could be asleep on the sofa too. It's Greta, I don't know. No, she had PC issues, of course, Georgia. Okay, well, I'm sure that Greta sends her best. And she was delighted, thrilled to meet you and to get to know you. I speak for her because we had this conversation a little earlier today. I just want to thank you just for being you, just for that rare and precious
so much. It was a pleasure to introduce you to my friend Tuk Tuk, because as you were saying, on that first day, you tried, you were out there meeting people, but then you just felt really bad and you had to go back to the apartment and sleep and recover. And then I gave a spiritual healing to both you and to Greta. And we astrally projected to an extraterrestrial healing alien called Tuk Tuk. And I think it had a positive effect on you.
That's what got me through the weekend. Yeah, it is. I mean, I was 18-hour days, and it's what got me through the weekend. And I am so grateful to you. And, the after effects of it have, I believe, helped me get through probably one of the most physically, emotionally, spiritually arduous experiences that I've ever had. I flew home, Greta and I got back to Atlanta Sunday night, and I had Monday to recover, pack, and then leave on Tuesday morning for Florida. And it's a blur. It's like a blur ever since. And I don't know how I've gotten through moving one big house full of furniture into another big house and melding it with all the furniture that was already here and making that work, but it's working. And I thank you so much for that beautiful healing session. And I really, really hope that you do some of that in your show, because I'm not the only one that needed healing. There are millions and millions of people that will benefit enormously from your great gift, your ability not only to connect with Tuk Tuk, but the way that you channel it and are become a conduit for that healing is an absolutely beautiful thing to see. And the entire experience happened with my eyes closed.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm just in the presence of so much love here. I just want to thank you two and Greta and Bill and everybody at the Houghton Lake events so much for being so welcoming. You are part of my family. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, darling. And we only have a minute left. Deb, I'll call you over the weekend.
Sounds
let you know I've
good.
still got a pulse. And we'll start planning some other things. I think that I know Greta's got some stuff in the works. I think 2024 is going to be an extraordinary and exceptional year. And I know that we're a part of it and we can actually make it happen. So everybody stay posted. As soon as we're done the show tonight, I am going to post Rupert's new page for the new show. It is, you have to wait till he accepts you, and you know, that's fine. It's how it should be. But hop on in and ride the wave of pure enlightenment. And as always, be the beacon on the hill. Be the light you seek. I love you all. Have a lovely evening. Good night.